Greetings, my fellow Frag Fiends. It's your buddy Boogeyman Ben here for another episode of Boogeyman Ben's Horror Zone, and this is my second part of my top 100 horror films of all time. This is my countdown to Halloween segment for this year. Again, these will premiere every Wednesday leading up to Halloween, and so this week it will be numbers 90 through 81. So to start it right off, number 90 for me in terms of my top 100 horror films of all time is going to go to Creepshow 2. Creepshow 2 was a film that I got to see in the movie theater. I was 13 years old when this movie came out. My mom took me to see it opening night, and it was fantastic. I had such a blast with this film. I don't like it as much as the first Creepshow. There's still a lot to love about this film, particularly when it comes to the last two installments. Old Chief Woodenhead I enjoy, but I really love the segments, the raft, and particularly the hitchhiker. Those are always going to be two of my favorite Creepshow segments. It's just a really fun film, and it just brings me right back to 7th grade when I watch it. Just had a blast with it, and absolutely one of my favorite films of all time. Number 89 is going to go to Popcorn. It's a film that not a lot of people talk about, but it is such a blast to watch. It's just a really amazing homage to like those 50s and 60s B movies. And it really has a lot of creepy moments and a really surprising ending and a cast that you really can get behind. Fantastic. And can't say enough great things about this film. Absolutely love it. So number 88 is going to go to Saw 3D, or Saw the Final Chapter. It was originally supposed to be two films. And it kind of feels like I do love a lot of elements about this, particularly the Dr. Gordon, the amazing Carrie Elways comes back after being MIA since the original Saw film. I also thought Sean Patrick Flanery was good in it. Some of the cops in it are not very good, and they're not as interesting. I love the story of Bobby Dagen's character, the Sean Patrick Flanery character, being put through these tests saying that he had survived a jigsaw trap. And then you also have Hoffman kind of covering up everything that he's done and also trying to get back at Jigsaw's widow. So there's a lot of good things going on. There's a few things that don't work, but I still enjoy the film and had a blast seeing it in the theater and still enjoy watching it now. Number 87 on my list is going to go to A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. There's a lot of people that don't like this film. I actually had a good time seeing this in the movie theater. Yes, it felt rushed, and it was rushed out after Nightmare on Elm Street 4 because that was such a success, and it feels like this was rushed out because the characters aren't as well developed, but you do have some amazing visuals. Stephen Hopkins does a great job directing. It was nice to see Lisa Wilcox and Danny Hassel come back from Nightmare on Elm Street 4. And the fact that Freddy is sort of weakened by what happened to him in part 4, I like that element that he has to use Alice's unborn baby to sort of get at new victims and things like that by using the unborn baby's dreams. There's some really good ideas in this. The whole comic book scene with Super Freddy and all that, I thought that was really well done. The visuals in this are fantastic, and I think it's one of the strongest visually from the Nightmare on Elm Street series. But just the story's not that great. There's some weak elements, but I still enjoy watching it, and I remember summer '89, going with my buddies to see this in the theater, and it really was a blast. You know, one of my favorite memories of childhood was these and the Friday the 13th every summer. Going to see these with my friends. So great time at the movie theater, and that's why this film means so much to me now. Number 86 on my list is going to go to Creature from the Black Lagoon. I absolutely love this film. And just the set pieces and the costume alone of, you know, the creature just blows me away every time I've seen this. I always remember being fascinated by the creature when I was a kid, and I just absolutely love the visuals in this film. When Julia Adams' character Kay is swimming and you see the creature swimming under her, just the visuals alone and just how they were able to pull this off, it's just amazing. Just one of my favorites of all time. Number 85 on my list is going to go to Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. I've always said that this is my least favorite Friday the 13th film, and it's never changed. I have some issues with this film, but it's still a Friday the 13th film, and I think there's some fantastic elements to this. Kane Hodder, again, for the limited time he is in this film, he's fantastic as Jason. John DeLeMay, who I'm a huge fan of from not only this film but the Friday the 13th television series, as Ryan Dallion. I think he's terrific as the lead. There's some terrific set pieces and some terrific gore in this film. Can't say enough great things about some of the kills in this, particularly the one with the two campers where she split up the middle while riding the guy. That's like one of the, I think, most iconic Friday the 13th deaths ever. I also love the final fight at the Voorhees house and everything, and then of course, you can't say enough great things about the conclusion where Freddy Krueger's glove pulls Jason's mask into the ground, and you know that's the setup for Freddy versus Jason. Still an amazing shot. Couple problems with the film, but still, I remember going to see this twice in the movie theater because 4 years since a Jason film had come out. And I wanted to see this as many times as possible in the theater, and I had a blast. Still a film that I enjoy watching every so often. Just wish Jason could have been in it a little bit more, but otherwise, still a fun film. Number 94 on my list is going to go to The Howling. I had the honor last year of meeting Dee Wallace. She signed my Blu-ray right there. It says "Bite Me," which I thought was great. And she's fantastic, and I absolutely love this film. There's just some terrific visuals. Rob Bottin, who would do John Carpenter's The Thing, just did a fantastic job of picking up the reins from Rick Baker, who sort of set up the makeup effects and then went off to do American Werewolf in London. Rob Bottin did a terrific job with this. And you have a fantastic cast as well. Dee Wallace is so great in this film. But you also have John Carradine, Slim Pickens, Kevin McCarthy, and Elizabeth Brooks. Fantastic cast, fantastic setting. Love the werewolf effects in this. They're so creepy, especially the big transformation done in the shadows, but so effective. Can't say enough great things about The Howling. Absolutely love it. One of my favorites of all time. Number 93 on my list is going to go to Final Destination 5. 5 has many things going for it. Number 1, it has a fantastic opening, and it also was fantastic in 3D. My wife and I went and saw this in 3D, and it was one of the best 3D horror films I've ever seen. The effects where they're on the bridge and the bridge is collapsing, it's truly terrifying. I'm scared of heights, so right there it's like it's one of the things that freaked me out the most. But just, I love the characters in this, and that's one thing I loved about this film. Whereas I thought the Final Destination really suffered in terms of character development. I loved all the characters in this. I also loved that they brought Tony Todd back. That character is so important to this franchise, and the fact that he was missing from 3 and 4 always bothered me. And I just love all of the set pieces. They were all so well done, very disturbing. And then the ending, just, for me, if they never make another Final Destination movie, this is the perfect cap off to it. It just brought everything full circle, and I loved it. So if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it. One of the best films in that franchise, and one of my favorite films of all time. Number 92 on my list is going to go to House of Wax, starring Vincent Price. I just talked about this film recently in my Vincent Price tag that I did for Bronco Juggalo. This film just really freaked me out the first time I saw it, and I just love the visuals in this. Vincent Price, of course, is fantastic, and I really love the way it was shot. Really just gave it an eerie feeling. I love the eerie feel to this film, and it really is disturbing in many scenes. It will always be my favorite Vincent Price film, and I can't say enough great things about it. Fantastic film. And number 91, the last one I'm going to talk about in this video, goes to The Descent. Now, this is a film I haven't really talked about on this channel. This film I saw in the movie theater. I had a friend that I worked with in the city at the time this came out. This came out in 2006, and a friend of mine just kept saying how great this film was, and my wife and I went and saw it in the theater, and this film is absolutely fantastic. One of the most terrifying films I've ever seen. It's such a great film because it has terrific character development. 6 women are all very well defined. You understand who each character is, and then they're put into this horrifying situation, and you are with them every step of the way. And the way that this film was shot by the amazing Neil Marshall, it's so well done. You really feel like they're in this cave. There's not all of the lighting that's used in this film is practical lighting. It's from their headsets or their cameras or whatever it is. It's not, you know, you don't feel like they're on a soundstage or a studio. You really feel like they're in this cave, and these things that are pursuing them are absolutely terrifying. One of the best horror films that I've seen, and really got me into foreign horror films, because before this film came out I really wasn't into foreign horror films. I was only watching stuff that was made here stateside. This film is absolutely fantastic, and if you haven't seen it, please seek it out. It's truly terrifying. One of the best horror films ever made. So that is it, my fellow fiends. One more video down. I got 8 more to go. I hope everyone's enjoying this segment. Let me know what you guys think of my picks in the comment section below. Would love to hear from everyone. Also, if you haven't already been aware of it, I do have a Patreon page for Boogeyman Ben's Horror Zone. I'm lucky enough to already have 3 patrons that are supporting me, which means the world to me. If you guys are interested in supporting to the channel here, you know, check out the link below. I look at it more as a donation. I only have 1 tier, and I'm doing some Patreon exclusive content for people that are supporting me. Everything here will always be free, but for the people that are supporting me, I'd like to give them a little bit extra. So if you guys are interested in seeing some of the extra stuff I'm doing, please hit the link below. Become a patron of Boogeyman Ben's Horror Zone. I really appreciate it. And also, if you want to check me out on my social media links, they are down below as well. And stay tuned for some new content that will be coming real soon. Take it easy. Thanks so much for watching. Stay scared as always.